back at it. Alright. What's up, everybody? It's been a little bit since our last full moon. It's our last session, maybe 3 weeks or so. Hope everybody's doing great. We ride again on this very interesting night. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Make sure you got the 4K set up. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat before I get started. I see Vicky in there first, and Jared, and Mick Honor, Miguel, what's happening, Debbie, NGC, great to see you, Reginald, Dave, and everybody trickling in. Happy full moon. So we got a super full moon, we got an eclipse that's just about to start. We're not going to really see much for another couple of hours, I think. So I was trying to do all the research around it. Really crept up on me. I knew that it was coming, but just May showed up. So I guess what I'm going to do now is I'm facing east with the 8-inch scope and the new camera. And so we're looking at basically what is almost perfectly full moon. It will be in about 4 hours or 5 hours. But the penumbra, the early shadow of the eclipse, is just starting in the next like half an hour. But we're not really going to see much in terms of, overlay till like, I think 11 p.m. So what I'm going to do is stream for like, I don't know, an hour and a half, and then cut the stream, take a little break, set up on the back porch, which I haven't done in a while, and see if we can't actually catch the eclipse in full. We'll go a little bit late tonight. Audio's a little tubby. I don't know, tonight it's a bit funny because every time I turn the machines on after a while, it tends to get all finicky. Tubby, what does that mean? Is it not clear? I'm just gonna have to run with it for the next hour or so, just so I don't fuss too much and we can just watch the moon. I'm sure the music will sound okay. I see Rockstar in there, what's going on? Welcome. Ryan NC on the grid for the weekend, much love. Hello, hello. Alright, so it's a gorgeous moon. Of course, the blood moon reference is due to the fact that it turns a kind of nice rusty red when we get totality. It's the same reason our blood is red, or it seems to be red. Gosh, I kind of did a whole deep dive research into what I want to talk about tonight, but not even sure what to start with. I've been, for some of you, you know that like last month I was watching a lot of Dan Winter stuff in terms of fractal field, and so I watched a bit more of it, digested it for a while, then kind of came back to it and really tried to understand the balance between fractal field and all the physics and math behind it, and the relation to the extraterrestrial phenomenon around it. So I have some thoughts there, and then I really enjoyed the recent Thunderbolts Project videos. Those were, actually, the last one was really amazing in terms of how the body emits light and how the eyes emit light. So I want to talk about a little bit about how, I feel like I've referenced this before. And just so you know, on the screen we got trees still blocking the view, so nothing looks kind of cool, but interestingly it's right above it. Yeah, sorry Dave, I'm not sure what to do. All the wires seem okay. But yeah, this idea that essentially the human body is emitting signals all the time. Like, so the eye is emitting a signal, the ear is emitting sound, and this kind of interference between the two waves of potential reality and our ear, for example, is what actually creates those foci, these points, this implosion of conscious reality. And so the world and consciousness is this interplay between the human body resonating outwards in these specific types of toroidal fields and collapsing the wavefront of potential reality into a point. and this point is also moving because reality is constantly moving. So it's really fascinating how we're getting to the point where you can overlap some of what Thunderbolts Project is doing with what Dan Winter is talking about and start to cross over. I also dug back into this old channel from about 9 years ago, and it's called The Dyslexic Artist Theory on Relativity. And I mentioned it, I think I mentioned it like 5 years ago on TakeBackSpace, but he explains this frame of reference in terms of how to bridge special relativity with quantum mechanics. So I'm going to link that a little bit later, and I find it so interesting to listen to after years of understanding it now and kind of reinterpreting it through the lens of having the Dan Winter stuff and plasma physics behind it. So it makes a lot more sense now. Let's see. Genghis Khan, what's happening? Relaxing weekend and good vibes to the TBS tribe. Thank you so much. I saw you picked up some music, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's center this Luna. It's really nice and kind of glowy. I see Rune Dragon says, how many of you think we actually go to the moon? So that's a really interesting question, because as I was doing research today, I always check in every, I don't know, a few months or so, and I'm like, what is the most contemporary space news? What's the state of the space missions? What is the space of the space? What is the state of the space telescopes? And so on. And I looked into the James Webb stuff, and I looked into the SLS rocket in terms of us going back to the moon, or to the moon for the first time, depending on your perspective. So for me, it's always been a very complicated question. It seems like there might be some things in the next few years which may prove the whole thing, and so I'm kind of holding off real judgment in terms of, whether or not we went to the moon, because there was a lot of years where I was sure we didn't go, and then there were definitely some years where I was sure we did go, and now I'm sort of on the fence about the whole thing, because the footage and the pictures from the moon from the 70s and 60s and really all the space pictures are legitimate. You can say they're fake, but to me they look legitimate. So somehow robots, for example, with a camera can get to space. So who knows? Let's see. I see Io. What's going on? Welcome. Rockstar is on the moon right now. Exactly. Yeah, the moon, I don't think is transparent. I think the moon is like a magnetic balancer between the Earth and the sun. So we have this type of interlocking relationship where the discharge between the moon and Earth actually regulates this kind of energy between the Earth and the sun, and in terms of an electrical circuit. That's what I really think. There has to be some sort of fractal energetic circuit going on between the three entities and the rest of the solar system, of course. I've been reading a lot of different things. I mean, Michael Claridge in the Thunderbolts Project video made a really good observation on the twisting of the DNA and how the length of DNA in the human body would extend to the outer edge of the heliopause, which basically is a fractal version in terms of length of like shoving basically this massive amount of distance into a tiny single cell organism, but still retaining the information of the large. So fractal recursion proven in that sense. All right, so the moon's clearing the treetops. Yeah, I guess I guess what I'll say about the moon landings is that now there's an opportunity to really see if the US or whatever country actually gets back to the moon in the next few years. And if the footage that goes along with that is real and you can really tell, then I'll have to believe that it is possible to send people to the moon. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm reserving judgment right now. What's going on, Hoosier? Too cloudy in Indiana, so thanks. You are welcome. I'm glad to be able to do this. It's so incredible to, of course, be able to stream and do the astronomy side of it, but the fact that tonight we have a particularly great moon, pretty clear weather, and the fact that it's going to be low on the horizon, not like completely. Typically you have these lunar eclipses and they're almost 90 degrees above overhead, and they happen like in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. So you really have to set up, and it's quite challenging. So tonight, in a few hours, I'll switch to the back porch, and I think I'll be able to actually capture most of this eclipse, and it should work. I'm hopeful, but it's been a while since I streamed, so I'm a little bit, not flustered, just very hot for some reason, because I've just been running back and forth getting all the wires and setting up the back porch and prepping. But look at this moon, our May flower moon. Flower because, of course, now all the flowers come out. We're kind of getting to the end of spring, the beginning of summer. So let's play some jams here, make myself a drink, we'll settle in. Let me know if you have any thoughts. I know, let's see. I have a quick comment in there. It says, Rune Dragon says, in my opinion, the moon is a holographic projection from outside the firmament. Well, I don't even know what to say to that. I think we can just agree to disagree on that principle. It just makes sense that the moon's a real object to me, whether or not, all the stories around it are true. We're seeing it right now, and agreed upon reality is something that I was thinking about today. These ideas, especially when it comes to mixing the plasma physics, like the Dan Winter stuff, with the extraterrestrial phenomenon, and how these stories of people meeting extraterrestrials or having UFO experiences are really very specific to each person, right? And do you want to allow people to have those stories? I guess the short answer is you want to allow people to have their own stories, but at the same time there's a consensus reality where we can all see a tree and we can all see a house, for example. Not everybody, but most people. And so I think the consensus is that most people see the moon, and therefore the moon is part of our reality. I see Dagger Spells in the chat. Hey, much love to you. Welcome. All right, tunage for the moonage, back at it. Can't believe how many shows I've done, but I still love it. Wish I had time to do more. What we gonna play to start? Gotta get the vibe right here. Go back to the start. What's up, around 4X? Certainly is. Wander through the streets, far away from Alright, let's try. See if the audio's a little bit better. I'll speak closer to the mic. I adjusted it a bit more. Frequency, exactly. Do you frequency? I see Mimsical Renegade in the chat. I see, who else? I see Chris Parker. What's going on, Chris Parker? Great to see you. Welcome. Thank you, Dave. Who else? Morgan Ellis. Shout outs NorCal. Let me know if I missed anybody. I adjusted the shot just a little bit. Got some sharpness in there, some more color. Almost at a perfect full moon in the next like 4 hours. The eclipse should be starting, I think, in the next hour or so. Perhaps we'll see some of the penumbra creep in before I end this first part. And then I plan on moving to the back porch and doing a late night stream, see if we can't get this whole eclipse on record. That'll be, I think, the 3rd or 4th lunar eclipse in 7 years that we tried to get, that I've gotten, and with y'all. So, Timothy Martin, nice to see you. Welcome. It's been a while. Yeah. Let me adjust this a little bit. Yeah, because I have it zoomed in just a bit with this new camera. Full frame is a bit different. All right. So pretty incredible sharpness right now. This is the trusty old Nexstar 8. I thought about doing it with the 11, but the 11 is going to get stuck at the window. So we'll see how long we can go here. Pulling up some chinage. Keep on going with our old track here. Get some strut going. Classic show tonight.
Sensation
waiting for your white light. No, I've been thinking that you should be mine. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. Oh, you send me messages across the cosmic network, and you send me pictures from across the astral plane, and you send me cryptic kisses across the mansion network. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 Je t'attends, mon amour, assez tué, ainsi le monde que la nuit sourit, achetant la plus éternelle, avec on sondier. Je suis l'amour que ton avant et les chaque jour. Je t'attends, mon amour, avec les mecs sans rêver. Et c'est l'amour magnétique, c'est l'amour magnétique, c'est l'amour magnifique. Some strut, then willpowered. Thanks for all the love, everybody. Great to see you, Ellie and Mary and Monarch Love. Great to see Douglas and Jedi Princess. Awesome. You just showed up. Let me know if I missed you in the chat. Trying to read everything tonight. But yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about the last Thunderbolts Project video that Michael Claridge put out in terms of how the body emits light, or basically emits a signal, right? That mixed with Dan Winter's idea of implosion theory, where reality is basically perfect implosions of fractals. And then you have the idea of Eileen McCusick's human biofield, where the field of consciousness and is outside the body, in these shells of plasma. Then you have Rupert Sheldrake's morphogenic field and the idea of telepathy and bubble theory. You have Buddy Dougherty's idea of these interconnected bubbles along strings along filaments. You have the electric universe theory, where you also have these filaments, Birkeland filaments. So we're getting to an age where people are actually questioning the science, and we also have a ton of information out there in terms of being able to put together this unified grand theory of consciousness and existence. So there's a little bit about that, but I'm not even sure if I want to go into it. If you have questions about it, I'd love to talk about it, but I feel like I want to vibe too. I haven't been on this show in a while, and I kind of love to listen to music with y'all and enjoy the moon. But yeah, it's an amazing idea to be able to self-reflect and to understand this idea of self and other being these shells of plasma around the body, and self being this organized set of 9 toroidal energetic donuts that are self-aware, our chakras, and then the 2 crown chakras. So if you follow this idea, it really is an amazing age to be alive in, where we have this incredibly fractalized information conduit, the internet, and we're able to siphon and distill the entire origin of humanity into these tiny anecdotal phrases or these carvings and fractal words in our reality, and then experience them as self and other, as the entire universe and also self. And we get to do it together, which is super fucking cool. Yeah, I'm going a little bit quickly, and I tend to get to doing that when I get flustered doing a show live. Before the show, I always think, oh, I'm going to take a lot of time and explain these theories in detail. And then when we get live, I just want to play some music. But I do urge everyone to take a look at the playlists on my channel and ask me about plasma physics and consciousness, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. But let's put a song here, keep the vibes high. It's called Feel For You. So you know. was Bring Me Back, a sort of newish song from last year, but I haven't released it fully yet. So, where are we at? I was going to talk about ghosts for a second, and how, you know, of course, you believe in ghosts as a kid, or some do, and then you grow up and you're like, there's no way, ghosts are fake, and then you go through a whole lifetime to get to a place where potentially ghosts are real. And so in a simple way, why do I believe that ghosts are real? So there are two ways of interpreting it. One is the fact that what is memory if not a ghost, an echo of the past, so to speak? But further than that, this idea that our organisms are plasmoids, or plasma-based, and when we die, our bubble allows this plasma or energy to return to the field, or to the array, as Dan Winter says. And depending on how you die, the complexity or the compression of death. So this idea that we're born at a point and we grow outwards like onion skin bubbles, layers and layers of life. And these layers store all the memories that happen to us. And our field extends outside the body, and we resonate with this field. And this is how we exist, self and other. And everything from the smallest quantum Planck unit to the largest body, as we can understand it fractally, is the same geometric structure, this apple shape, or a ring torus with a counter space in the middle of it, which is a squeezed tube, or a hypotrochoid, or an hourglass. And we are grown along filaments, along root systems. So the same way trees are grown, or we think grow, we also grow, and that's why we look like trees, and that's why things look the way they do, because recursively, the geometry, recursively as in it's the same at every size, and it fractalizes, so when you zoom in, you keep on zooming in, the shapes basically look different, but they're based on the same type of geometry, and it keeps going and going in both directions. So when we die, we return to a field of potential energy, and depending on how we die, how we collapse our bubble, our life, and where that energy returns to is where I think you might have this idea of ghosts and or entities beyond death, or entities pre-death. And let's think about it in terms of where do we go when we dream. And this, to me, can be interpreted in terms of layers. And so the same way we have layers outside the body that are, the closest layer to me is yesterday. A layer that's 6 feet away from me is when I was, half life, and then 12 feet away from me, let's say, is when I was born. So I think the same way that we have layers of information, we also have layers of conscious existence. And so I think when we dream, for example, or lucid dream, for example, we can go into different layers of the reality, or membranes. So it's the multi-membrane theory. So there's a higher vibrational membrane and a lower dimensional membrane. And I think there's everything in between that, actually. So I feel like there's this idea of, ascension or rapture, and there's this idea of descending to the underworld, and there's the dreamscape or the dream reality. Another thing to ponder is how half the world is dreaming while the other half is awake. And so we're mixing fields of conscious dreaming and conscious reality, which is which, up to you to decide. But I find it fascinating that we never really consider that. We always think if we're awake, then everyone's awake. But usually half the world is asleep. So we can never all wake up. I think that's really interesting, because physically that's not even possible. And what's nice about it is that because it's physically impossible, you can accept it as nature's truth, or self-truth. I don't know where I went off on this tangent, but the main thing here is that we are, in essence, manifestations of the overall universe having a singular experience in relation to the whole. And where ghosts fit into entities that exist on different frequency bands or layers. And so I imagine now, understanding the physics of it, that there might be entities that exist on different membranes of reality in different vibrational layers. Things that we can tap into, but we don't. Our resonance in this reality that sees trees and animals is a certain type of, I think based on the Schumann resonance, this harmonic fractal that emanates into this universe as living reality that we see day to day. And then I think the dreaming reality is a similar type of thing with a different resonance. And that's how you can have outer body experiences, ghosts. You can have infinite dimensions. I don't know about the infinite dimensions, but I think there are dimensions. So yeah, that's a little bit about ghosts. Dead dog ghost story. Dead dog. I don't know if I've ever had a dead dog ghost story, or did somebody mention that? I see Hot Rod Scott, what's going on? Suspect much of the chemtrail objective has to do with blocking these transmissions, or energy exchanges, if you will, connection to the creator being diminished. So that's a great point. I see Annette in there, One Love, welcome. I guess I want to make a point about like all the conspiracy stuff, right? Chemtrails, or systems in play to limit population, or to just the system at large in terms of what we perceive as evil, death, or conspiracy. And this is the idea that we as energetic beings want to survive. But at the same time, the entire universe is entropic and destructive. And reality exists in one fine compressional wave interpolation of this reality where everything is trying to destroy it, but somehow it survives. And I think that's what all reality is. This is the relational quality between matter and antimatter, or dark matter and dark matter and matter, or dark energy and energy. It's just the idea that to have this condensed matter in terms of like a star or a human or a heart or a chakra, then you also have to have all the matter in the universe pushing in on it in order to create the shape. And pushing in on it in terms of impingement manifests as these compressions and rarefactions of wavefronts. And all potential energy around us are these emanating compressional waves. And then our body is also a stack of compressional waves interacting with the field. And so when we look at the field, we create interference patterns, and that's what we perceive as what we see. This is seeing in terms of what focus is. Think about what focus really means. You're paying attention to a point in space. Space is potential reality vibrating. Our eyes are sending out photons or photonic energy signals that create cross interference and actually manifest as foci, little points of reality. And because we're all moving, there's no actual stillness in the universe, then all these points are constantly basically vibrating, and this is what we perceive as thingness, and self. We can look at our hand and it's there, but it's actually vibrating at this very particular frequency that we can experience it. But it needs all the other dark matter or counter space around it in order for us to see it. So there's a beautiful way of interpreting physics that actually necessitates self and other. I see Russian nesting dolls. That's a good way of looking at it. We, as the stack of chakras, are at the center of the nesting dolls, and our memories emanate outwards that way, or aura. Let's see, I'm adjusting the moon here. What's up, Flat Plain, Oregon? Cymatics, Sacred Geometry and Waters without which nothing would exist. I think it's just a great way to read things. I mean, cymatics are the shapes of these different frequencies. When you see the resonance on Chladni plates or the sand grains and you run the oscillation through it, you see the cymatic patterns. You also have Rupert Sheldrake and his son took photos of like three-dimensional toroidal cymatics, which I think is actually the way memory is stored. These very complex fractal cymatics in 3 dimensions, really, in the air around us. The self-organizing and attractive repulsive force that self-organizes the whole universe, this is what stores all the information around us. What else? All right, let's play a little song here. Song in a while, but let's try it out. I left home at 17. Couldn't tell you I was living a dream. What could I do for a while? I played the field. Tropicals, what's happening? Nothing. How could I prove this hidden yield without the blues to feel? My heart was cool and left no residue. Oh, catch me if you're falling. Catch me when you're low. The moon comes high enough, like love you used to know. Catch me if you fall. Catch me when you're low. Catch me when you're low. It's a simulation. Wake up in solitary. Wake up, it's imaginary. Oh man, don't you know your life is worth more than this? Catch me if you fall. Catch me when you're low. Catch me when you're low. Amy G, what's happening? Great to see you. Happy full moon. We got all these comments in here. I don't know why all these comments are getting blocked, but it's weird. Let me cough 1 second. Got a little tickle right there as I was trying to get through it. But is that right? It's all right. NGC says, our brains make our own DMT when we are at bliss. I definitely agree with that. I feel like the human body basically is a version of everything in our reality. So we basically do everything the universe does on our scale. And I wonder, are we starting to see a little bit of this penumbra? I feel like we are, actually. You see the bottom left corner? I think we're actually starting to see a little bit of dimness. If it were my window, it would be the top right. So I think, all right, let's keep an eye on that. Just like old times. We'll do some golden up in here, maybe. All right, 2, 3, 4. Don't want you crawling down my chimney. I don't understand your goals. Enemies like Easter bunnies. I don't wanna play the ball. 44 v 44. Don't sweep the streets no more. Automatic depression, cash machines can go to hell. I don't need your Easter bunnies telling me what news to sell. 44 v 44, not count your sheep no more. 'Cause we're golden, oh deep down in the wells, baby. Those caterpillars multiply, golden, oh deep down in the wells, belly we are. Oh, don't count on all this on this poster. I have yet to speak my law. On the news it's preachers' money. I don't wanna play the poor. 44 v 44. Don't sweep the streets no more. Oh, and I can't lead on Santa vision. Living comes in high regard. Build your laws in peace and tension, and I might believe we're God. 44 v 44. Not count sheep no more. 'Cause we're golden, oh deep down in the wells, baby we are. The caterpillars multiply, golden, oh deep down in the wells. Losing the moon, I don't know why, what happened here. I guess it's moving quicker, or Maybe I lost tracking entirely. Let me adjust. Yeah, we're getting definitely some of the eclipses starting. Faux show. Look at that. I see Kay, still sunlight in California. Welcome. Mike Rabel, welcome. Let me know if I missed anyone. Yeah, super, super cool. Take a little break here. It's very dry, and I will have to make myself a nice drink. Let me know if you have any requests in terms of songs. I'll put something relatively new. Here's Cactus Dance, dedicated to Ellie and the cats. But everybody can dance, of course. Sweaty as heck, right? Quick story. So I just thought of it because I was looking at the moon, thinking about it, thinking about this portal idea, and I think I read it to y'all a few times. I mentioned it. It's called Somnium by Kepler, and it's a book, or rather kind of like a short story diary almost, that references, that's probably one of the earliest works, the full works on the moon, about the moon, by an ancient astronomer. And so in this book, if I remember, if memory serves me, let's see, Kepler's Somnium, the Dream. Here, let me quickly read about it. So Somnium is a novel written in Latin in 1608 by Johannes Kepler and first published in 1634 by Kepler's son Ludwig Kepler. In the narrative, an Icelandic boy and his witch mother learn of an island named Livania, from a daemon. Somnium presents a detailed, imaginative description of how the Earth might look when viewed from the moon, and is considered the first serious scientific treatise on lunar astronomy. Let's see. So in this, they talk about during lunar eclipses how these portals open up where certain types of creatures, certain types of individuals rather, are able to use these portals by finding certain spots on Earth that correspond with the portal coming to Earth from the moon. And if you're standing in the correct position, you can basically, there's a gravity vortex that opens up for a small period of time where you get basically sucked from Earth to the moon through this wormhole or portal. Rather, and I don't want to say portal because it's not really like a Stargate kind of portal, although it may be, but I imagine maybe it's more like a wormhole, like a folded Einstein-Rosen bridge style wormhole, and that's what I was referencing. So in this, they do travel to the moon during an eclipse, a total eclipse like we have tonight. So I wonder, I was thinking about it today, thinking about just imagining the idea of the fact that the physics behind this theoretically does work, right? The human body is capable of pretty much everything that you set your mind to. And is there a way to project consciousness and or the human body through a wormhole to the moon? So that's what I was talking about. I feel like it was relevant because we very rarely get to see a proper total lunar eclipse, let alone be prepared to travel to through a wormhole. So you got a couple hours to get your wormhole shoes on. Get back to the tunes here. What shall we play? A little bit of it's the Game of Life. I haven't heard this one in a while.
True.
the eclipse starting. And I got my cat in here, Red Rum, talking all this Skyrim and getting my like itch to play Skyrim. It's been like maybe 10 years. So long, so no. Welcome everybody who, and people who are new, please check the description and playlists and ask around. There's a friendly family in here. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely got that eclipse starting at the very bottom left, creeping in. I feel like I'm going to run it as long as we got the view, and then I will take a break, switch to the back porch, like I said, so it might take like a 30-minute break, and then we'll do, the moon's going to be perfectly full around midnight, and 11:11 I think is when, I don't know, it said the eclipse would start around 11, but we already got it, and it's 10:26 right now, so. Let's just jam for a little bit. What was that last thing I had? Trees were colliding like diamonds and fractals, so endlessly honest, so endlessly beyond this. I wanted nothing but silence. So time off to reach out and grab it. Take my time, fall in love with the silence. Those being like fire, well, as long as she hide us. No one taking this time in for loving so in silence. Ooh, in my river heart shapes, I'll give you love with no mistake, no mistake, no love. All right, that's something new. Just wrote that yesterday. That's all I got so far. I see a request, but I don't play other people's songs or any covers anymore because of the copyright stuff, so none of that. I see Lori, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it was Friday the 13th this week, and today we got a like full supermoon, blood moon. It's crazy, wonderful month, probably like the end of some crazy energy passing through and the start of something fresh. Definitely feel like it's a marker energetically. Definitely portal opening up, yep. Underground moon snakes. Yeah, Kay, I don't know if you're referencing Somnium, but yeah, they definitely have underground moon snakes. Oh, it's Mary's birthday? Oh my god. Alright, so maybe we'll do a version of birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's another year, I hope it's been good. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's all the same on your birthday. I hope it's been great. Birthday's time. Oh, birthday, not just like your birthday. I need to warm up a little more. Just a little more, just a little more. Alright, I tried something clever. But definitely happy belated birthday, Mary. I hope it was wonderful. I am tired of these MFing underground moon snakes on this MFing underground moon base. Happy birthday, filaments. Yep. Alright. I feel like absolutely Amy, new beginning. Congregating on the grass. It's when we loved each other before there was all this. All this. It's when we were human first. With the ancient power thirst. It's now a lifetime cycle. We grind together when we fly together. When we fly together. Hey, happy. Oh, you're out telling me what's happening. Hey, welcome. Love we missed in your mind before. All your cool beside you. Don't break my heart. Your love like this in your mind before. All your beside the fire. Don't break my heart. But your mama came, swept you up. You went and married your high school lover. You said you wanted some perfect life, no weather. I never had that envy. But your mama came, swept you up. Picket fence, no weather. Never had that in me. Never had that in me. But mother, I've been waiting for you so long, dear. You traveled across the seas to the moon for me, and she left me crawling on Mari embryo. I waited on that underground snake for you, and you. But your mama came, swept you up. We married your high school wizard. You said you wanted some magic spell, no other. Never had that in me. Never had that in me. Oh yeah. Your mom came, swept you. Alright, just having some fun here. Some puff puff pass. Hey yo, buddy. I see Buddy Dougherty in the chat. Legendary, brilliant thinker, bubble theorist, fellow bubble theorist. All right, one more song here, and then I'll take another break. 2. Rocket drift, she let me share your armor. Let you with this payment for my own old father. Just inseparable like motion and desire. All our scars have really faded, won't retire. Just believe, oh soul, in this traveling. Oh, just believe, yes, soul, in this traveling. Past the pond on the electric solar sphere, my descriptions of what a life was near. And then you were gone, I was electric lights, and we was erased from time. No will as mine. No way, yeah, no way, just believe it's so endless traveling. Just believe you're so endless traveling. Picked up another cause, got mountains across my head. I know we just played a part, I know it's supposed to end. Sleep with the name I call, you said you're mother there. Gotta believe me when I say that we'll be here again. Oh, gotta believe me when I say we'll be here again. Yes, Le Fenêtre is eating the moon too. Or Fenrir. Fenrir the wolf. Wait, explain your reference, Miguel. What is Fenrir? Let me look that up actually, because it sounds so familiar. But I hate talking out my ass. Fenrir, North mythology, also called Fenrissulfur, monstrous wolf of Norse mythology. Brain no worky. Son of the demonic god Loki and a giantess, Angerboda. Angerbodin. Yeah, we got 55 people in here. Welcome, everybody. Just having some fun, playing some jams, watching our eclipse. Watching the eclipse together is pretty rad. All right, what song are we playing next? All right, let's do one more real quick. My only pleasure, happy together. I love you forever, but you're killing me. This is marijuana blues, so I need you. Every night I wanna feel you. In the morning so cold, I believe you. Gosh, I feel like my tracking is getting really off, but the eclipse is happening fast. All right. Yes, obvious person right here. Obvious. Marijuana blues. I also feel like my guitar is out of tune. Out of tune blues. Here, definitely need a stretch. Need to keep stretching. Old tune coming in. Something different. How about Sky Don't Lie? One of my old favorites. was The Sky Don't Lie. I got a request to do Formidable Opponent and Prism Dagger. So I'll cue those up right here. I'll go Prism first. Which version? Maybe this 2019 version? That could be cool. This Eclipse is actually unreal right now. Don't sound like I'm freaking out, but it's really absolutely one-of-a-kind type of experience because, so the story is like, I got this scope back in 2015, or 2014, in anticipation for the lunar eclipse in 2015. I think it was September 23rd. And that was supposed to be the other end of the world. There were 3 blood moons, and that blood moon eclipse in September was the reason I bought this scope that we're using right now in order to be able to see it. And I remember me and a few friends sat on the street and used the scope. And it was very cloudy, but we saw a couple little things. And I hadn't actually started streaming yet. I didn't start streaming for a few months. But yeah, so seeing this clearly though, being able to just chat with y'all and play music, and we got crystal clear shot of a perfect full moon having a total eclipse. Having a total eclipse. No, but us experiencing a total eclipse from Earth, of course. The moon's not having a total eclipse. Total eclipse of the heart. No, Amy, you came in just a little bit late, but yes, Strut was played. So I'm going to queue up Prism Dagger here. And yeah, there's so much to talk about, but I feel like I kind of want to vibe and not just go on and on about cosmic theories and consciousness, unless you really want me to. So let me know if you have any thoughts. A big part of it is that I always like to say is that consciousness or memory is outside the body in the extended mind. And if it is so for the human organism, then it is so for every organism, planet, and solar system and beyond. And therefore, this is how self and other, the inner body energy and the shell of plasma, this is how we experience consciousness. And it's also how everything stores memory, it either perpetually or in short spurts along these intervals. So lifetimes of humans resonate for a certain amount of time, and then these plasma bubbles pop and return to the ether. And then planetary ones last much longer. And so we're all moving along these intervallic wavefronts, creating these bubbles of memory. And I think it's always important to say that because we definitely don't talk about that as a culture very often. Trying to center it a little bit here. Another important thing is perception of self, and how it's a very important question to ask oneself in terms of who made yourself, who made the body. So a simple thought experiment, if you stand in front of a mirror and you ask yourself, or the reflection of yourself, who made your eyeballs and who made your brain and who put the whole body together. And inexorably you get to a point where you realize that you did all of it. The self organized the self, using a systemic root system and geometry that is intrinsic to all reality. But in physical, actual reality, consensus reality, you actually made your own body, and you actually make yourself conscious. And therefore, even if we are at a certain scale that may not seem godlike, we are, in fact, a fractal iteration of the great whole. And therefore, the great whole. The great whole. Or the great God, or the soup of all reality. We are the manifestation of that. Like Alan Watts would say, teats on the same sow, or dewdrops on a spider web. All right, so getting to the tune here. dedicating this to all those who are here and those who are not, and between all the membranes and all the plasma. version that was. I think it was something right before I finished mastering it. Had a couple of weird levels in there. But little prison dagger. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. We're being blessed with the views tonight. It couldn't be sharper, couldn't be nicer. Seeing this like this reminds me of, like I said, that first lunar eclipse, and then there were several others. If you look back in my playlists or in the video archive, you'll see that I don't think we've ever really caught a lunar eclipse this perfectly clear. The solar eclipse, we did actually get this kind of sharpness, so very lucky tonight. Really appreciate what the universe does for us, even if it is my own mind. Okay, so I wanted to play some newer stuff here. I love that last song, but where's my operator? I feel like I just want to hear this song right now. Rolling up to 11 o'clock. I'm going to go for a bit longer here as long as we got the view. And the tunes, of course.
Give you love and I come in peace. Feel your pain cause it's part of me. I know you really think we need buddies, but I'm amazed by the shapes of your lips. Hear your name but we come in peace. It's insane that you're part of me. Never lifts from the iron wrists. It's as if everybody is the same buddy. Feel insane and I yearn for relief. Maybe someday the sun and me. I am made at the will of somebody someday, buddy. We'll get the slip. here in space, now we come in peace. Seeing things that you cannot believe. Ready to trip on the drift, we can lift to the new, cause I love to give you. We are the space race, we are the moonwalk, we are the franchise, we are the sequel, we are the ether. How are we still here? For your place along the space race. Somehow we lived, somehow we died, somehow we came back from the city of cries. We tried through civilized genocide. Come fight with your armies, coming down from the western forces. Got no love but you harm me. We've been paid from the western forces. But when you scream out and you sing loud, everybody wanna tear you down. Step to it, I got nothing but love to share with you. We are the space race, we are the moonlight, we are the franchise, we are the sequel, we are the ether. How are we still here? We find a place along the space race.
Looking great, enjoying the company. Just having a quick smoke here near the door. Cool. So we're really, I gotta say, getting almost the whole thing, and I don't know, just going to keep rolling with it. I thought I'd stop much earlier and go set up on the back porch, but we're going to get this. It's almost 11 p.m. We got about, I would imagine that's about 70%. We got just an unbelievable sight. I mean, I'm just a little bit zoned in here, or zoned out here. No, I'm zoned in. But I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. Just watching this, no big deal. It's unbelievable that we get this shot. It's so perfect. So I'm enjoying it just as much as y'all. Of course, this is not something I see all the time. We've seen it a few times, but nothing this clear. So welcome. I see a bunch of new people in here. I see Skrillex. Boy, what's happening? And thanks for the very kind words, 3Boy0. Thanks so much for all the love, everybody. Fiber Oats, I see. Easy E. And hope I didn't miss anybody hopping in. So what was I going to do? I was going to play this harmony wave coming up here and keep rocking with y'all for a bit longer, and then we'll do another part 2 a little bit later from the back porch, or we'll see how it goes. Right now it's pretty perfect, so let's enjoy the tunes together and you know, ride on the space trip. Which is just unreal. I'm absolutely speechless. Okay, start from the top, please. Thank you.
It's true.
Alright, that was some Harmony Wave. That's one of my faves too. It's from a few years ago, but it really suits the whole space vibe. So we're still getting here. This is, I think, close to 77, 80% coverage. I see Derek Richards says, love your channel. It instantly calms me into a peaceful place. Thank you. Thank you for being here and all the kind words, everyone. I'm just really feeling very lucky to be able to experience this, and even more lucky to experience it with all of y'all, and everybody new too. Seeing new people on the channel is kind of amazing. There's 69 people in the chat. Love it. Cool. So what was I trying to do? I want to play some more tunes. I'm going to keep going as long as we got the view. So right now I'm inside an apartment looking out with an 8-inch scope, and I feel like we might be able to get the whole thing. So I'm going to stick around, and I forgot what I was going to say, but I saw some comment. I think that's what it is. I wanted to just respond to somebody. Yeah. All right. I'll remember it. Either way, let's get some jams in here. What about... What about Total Silence? All right, this is Syncopated Television. Find its way into All right, holy shit. No other words. Great suggestion, NGC. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. We could have seen some more of it, but better late than never, right? So you can tell it's a little bit difficult right now because, one, I have the ISO and the shutter pulled way up, so there's a ton of noise. That's all the RGB flickering y'all are seeing. And then at the top right, it's getting a second eclipse from my windowsill, but it's still incredible, absolutely just mind-bending with the redness. Particularly that first shot when I flipped it. I see Chris Kelly in the chat, and Rainbows and Butterflies, and anybody else I missed. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. So let me see what I can do here. It's really running away from us, so I'm going to let me just get back to this view so we have the whole thing. Come on, come on. I'm really scoping out of the corner at this point, but maybe we'll get the whole thing on camera. It's been so lucky so far. Absolutely crazy. I'm really nervous to even move the scope. I think I might be able to move it, but not worth it. We'll get here with one more jam, and then let me decide if I'm gonna end the stream and start the next one. So we'll do some Electric Blood up in here. One of my new faves.
I've been waiting on the street for days. Don't treat me like a fool. I've been sleeping on the streets for days. Don't treat me so cruel. I've been waiting on the porch for days. Don't treat me like you're cool. I've been waiting on the sea for years. I've been waiting for the secret all along. Let me know what brings it. Don't you know what soul can sing? Singing about this dream so long for you. I've been dreaming about the song. So long for you. I've been singing about the song. So long for you. I've been dreaming about the one with you. I've been singing about this dream. So long for you. Till I see the color of your eyes reflected in the picture I made for you. All along. Let me know what brings it. Let you know what soul can see. Let you know what brings it. Let you know what soul can. We got it all. So what brings it up? Let you know what soul can see. Got us electric love. What brings it up? Let you know what soul can.
All right. That lasted, as long as it possibly could have, honestly. That was as perfect as it could have been. So thank you, Luna, and thank you all my wonderful space fam and new friends who've joined tonight. Please definitely check the playlist archive, video archive, and description of each video for more information. And leave me a nice comment. I'm going to end this first part. It's a perfect stopping point. I'm going to make myself a drink, try and set up on the back porch, and we'll do a part 2 in about, 30 minutes or an hour. Probably 30 minutes, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to set up properly. I haven't used the back porch setup in a while. So hopefully it's all fine, and I will see y'all very shortly with the rest of this totality, that was pretty much, I mean, as nice as it could have been, to be perfectly honest. So I'm very, very grateful, very grateful. Thanks, everybody. I'm not going to go through all the names because I know almost everybody was here, and if you weren't, we're sending you great Eclipse, super moon vibes. Hope you're doing great out there if you missed the show. So, thanks, my peeps. I'm going to let this fade out. 94, 94. All right, catch you on the flip. Captain signing off for now.